Mr. Naqvi.
To both Chief Jocko and Professor Coburn for presenting today. I live in Ottawa. I'm an immigrant to Canada, and I consider myself a settler. That's a conversation I often have with my two young children who were born here to make them understand our responsibility towards reconciliation. So I want to thank both of you for your leadership in educating people like myself. I also want to start by acknowledging something that Chief Jocko, you spoke about in your testimony around differential treatment by police when it comes to different kinds of protests. And you spoke about how Indigenous people and their protests are treated by police across the country, and I've seen that in my city here in Ottawa as well, and towards other racialized communities as well. And so there is a systemic challenge when it comes to law enforcement that we have to work towards, and so I do want to take the time to acknowledge that this is an important conversation to be had as well. In relation to the work that we're doing here in this committee around Parliamentary Precinct and what it means, I was wondering if you can help us your vision of what a parliamentary precinct should look like and means to the Algonquins, given that the Indigenous Peoples Place is located right across from Parliament Hill, from Centre Block in particular. And as plans are being developed to rebuild Block 2, which is on the south side of Wellington Street, adjacent to Indigenous Peoples Place, and hopefully more a parliamentary square in front of that space. What is, in your view, should be the vision, keeping in mind reconciliation with the Indigenous peoples, and of course, celebrating and understanding Indigenous culture and traditions as well? You, Chair.
Well, I guess I'll go first then, Veldon. Well, I think I did mention before, I think that a name change would be in order for the Parliamentary Precinct. I actually had the opportunity to visit one of the last tours prior to the construction going on in the building, and it's quite an elaborate building, but it really is void of our host nation presence. There's really nothing to signify the Algonquin nation in the architectural design of the building. So I think, we could hopefully see those aspects incorporated into the refurbishment of the precinct itself.
I would add, just Mr. Yaki, just that I think a lot of what we might be looking for is the security and the enforcement of Indigenous rights through the particular space that's proposed to be the expansion of the Parliamentary Precinct. So our presence will always be within it. And I think Chief Jocko would agree is there's a special relationship between the Algonquin Nation and Canada itself is, and having the building right across from Parliament is right sort of in the heart, into the seat of federal power, that we're right next door to it. In terms of, say, the urban planning, I don't know if Ottawa seems to be quite good, and I don't think it does anything necessarily too offensive in any way whatsoever. We know that we're right across the street from Parliament. We can look through the window eventually when 100 Wellington is opened up. Again, somebody at the Department of Public Works or what have you is still dragging their feet.
Thank you. I would just, I think we're running out of time, and I was wondering if I can just ask a very quick question, and that is one of the things being considered is whether Wellington Street should be closed to vehicular traffic. I'm just wondering if you would be supportive of that.
I would be, yes.
Yes, I wouldn't object to that either.